Hello, my name is Mike Querry, District Sales Manager of the Southwest region of the United States. Over the many years of working in the component manufacturing industry, I have been able to visit an awful lot of truss plants over my time. Today, I'd like to share a few floor truss manufacturing best practice with you guys. To do that, we need to start off with talking about the MiTek's Rail Rider Pro. That's one of the main things that'll start you off with manufacturing floor trusses. There's many options inside the Rail Rider that we can go with. One big one is the overhead plate rack that you can store floor truss webs, you can store verticals, plates, all the parts of the actual floor truss can be stored in the overhead plate racks. So the other part of it is the next part is the individual finding out where each operator needs to be or builder needs to be. The ones that we're going to show today is a 3-person operation. So you're going to have 2 actual setup build and then 1 flip person that backplates it. So you're going to have 2 people on the operator side taking the cords, the webs, the verticals to actually set up the truss. And then on the flip side, you'll have the actual putting the back plate onto the floor truss. The other part of this is using MiTek's virtual plant or Sapphire production. This gives us a point to be able to allow the builders to easily be able to look at televisions that has all the dimensions, the web links, the plates and everything right in front of you so that you don't have to chase down paperwork to be able to find it. You only have one set of paperwork and it can slow down the operation dramatically if you don't have these types of things. So the MiTek virtual plant Sapphire production can break the operation down to being able to splice easier, and then the actual fabrication points when they're actually setting up and building. So let's talk about the splicing station. For those of you who built floor trusses over the years, you've noticed that the paperwork can be a little bit cumbersome, especially when you get a double top cord, double bottom cords, triple cords. It's hard to tell T1, B1, T3, T4, or bottom 1, bottom 2, 3, 4. With this, it breaks it down by the actual cord itself and makes it easier on you to be able to see, speeding up the actual production time. As you can see on the other fabrication side, it'll break down, tell you the exact amount of webs broken out that you don't have to look at the paperwork. It simplifies this fabrication down to something a little bit easier rather than looking at the paperwork. It's small print. This will enlarge it. Each builder, fabricator, flip person has their own television, as you can see in the pictures below, to be able to see and fabricate faster. This is just a typical layout that I'm showing today. This one's showing one of the options that we can do. As you can see, we have the MiTek splicer and then the MVP stations on each one of them there. One for the splicing, which we showed before, the previous slide, and then the actual televisions for each fabricator. This one's showing a splicing station and then an end eject floor truss. And so this shows all the products that we're needing to fabricate the truss. This is the MiTek floor truss sizer, and I've got a little video clip here that we'd like to show that it's splicing for the longer cords together to fabricate the floor trusses. It makes it easy. It's a simple process. You simply drop the lumber in, the actual connector plates for the splice plates, and then it's just a roll splice. Here's a quick video clip of this. As you can see with the floor truss splicer, you can simply check for crowns easily and flip over to be able to get it properly. This is just one simple way that you could do the actual splicing of the cords with the MiTek floor truss splicer. There also is an option on the rail rider in which you can do on-table splicing. So next, let's go on to looking at one option of actually fabricating floor trusses. So when you're setting up, we're going to feed the connector plates from both sides, and we can have just all the build product on one side, and then the flip side is simply just putting the back plate on. Again, the overhead plate rack helps with the storage of the actual products for that specific setup. As you can see at the back side there, you have the entire batch on the ground right there. This specific option that we're going to show is literally just placing the actual plate onto the truss and not tacking it. You know, a lot of time is spent in fabrication and trusses where people beat the plates on. You don't really need to do that. The press is there for you to speed up the manufacturing time. You can just simply place it on there or a very light tack just to hold it in place. So let's take a quick look at this little video here of them fabricating the floor truss. Okay, so let's talk about this little video clip right here on the fabrication. As you can see, the two builders simply took the products, the cords, dropped them into the trough, grabbed the webs directly off them. They have it for that setup. And then the simple taking and tapping after they clamped it into place. That's all that really needed to be done with the hammer. After that, they just simply placed them on there. It doesn't take all that much with a floor truss line of holding it into place, but even past that, a simple tack, would be easy on the press side moving across the truss. Just easy tacks speeds up the time of manufacturing. As you can see, this specific Rail Rider Pro has a flip option, which is easier on the fabricator's bodies of not having to flip to the other side and getting the truss up out of the bed onto the actual stacking rack on the side eject shown in this video. So option two. Option two, we're going to take a look at here. They're placing it on the shelf rather than the overhead rack. And the plates are placed on there also. So let's take a look at this one, and then we'll go over it after the video. Okay, so let's talk about this video a little bit. As you can see, they tacked this one together, and they used another actual person for this one. These four trusses are a little bit bigger than the last video. But again, as you can see inside of this, they did some of the vertical, they put the verticals up on the shelf and utilized that area. They chose to do the pre-splice through the roll splicer, and they were brought over and put on racks right behind them there. Everything in short vicinity to them of everything that they're going to need to fabricate. With this one too, if you noticed, the tacking of the plates, it's a simple one tack deal, and that's all you have to do. Again, speeding up this one. This is a typical truss plant in the Southwest region of the United States, and this is, for the most part, how they fabricate in the Southwest. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate you spending a little bit of time to learn about the different types and ways to fabricate floor trusses. This is just a couple options that we would like to show to you. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you.